Good morning or good evening, whenever you're watching this. We're going to take a couple minutes, actually about 5 minutes, to go over the recipe for Core Plus and RtI at Franklin Middle School. Got a simple analogy and metaphor to use today. Let's look at it this way. We want to keep this simple. We're going to make chocolate cake. We're going to make a simple chocolate cake, a box cake. Nothing fancy here, but it's going to taste fantastic. Now, see the little asterisks? You can go crazy. You can bake a homemade chocolate cake, but we advise keeping it simple. My grandma used to make a fantastic from-scratch cake, buttermilk, whole 9 yards, everything else. I loved it, but I also love chocolate cake made from a box. All right, here we go. What do you need to do? You need to preheat the oven and bake. So planning. Hopefully we've been doing the planning in collaboration prep with teams over the last couple 3 weeks as requested. Make sure you're looking at who, what, and when. We're looking at a 6-week intervention for RtI. So basically we're doing this in December and we're doing this in January. We'll revisit things at the end of first semester, which is the end of second quarter. All right, our ingredients. We need large eggs. RtI says that we've got 3 tiers. Roughly speaking, about 80% are in Tier 1, about 15% are in Tier 2, and about 5% are in Tier 3. 80% is your Tier 1 is your universal tier. Tier 2 is the tier with you need a little bit of support, and then Tier 3 is where you need individualized or small group support. So really when we're looking at this RtI Tier 1, approximately 75 to 85% of your students in your house, that should be 2 or 3 advisors assigned to the house, should be taking care of the large groups. I know that some teams already have some pretty exciting things planned for these large groups, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. So again, determine who will lead the larger groups, the non-Core Plus groups, on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for approximately 6 weeks. Next, you need water. You need a 1/3 cup of water. And our analogy or metaphor for water is the math small group. So 5 to 10% of the students in the house, 1 advisor assigned to the house, and then again, this is to provide extra time and support in the area of math for 6 weeks. Why 6 weeks? We determine that as a time frame that we can actually take a look at it over 6 weeks and see if our intervention is making any types of difference. 1/3 cup of oil. Those are the reading groups. So again, this is about 5 to 10% of students in the house, 1 advisor assigned to the house. Same thing as math. We want to provide extra time and support in the area of reading for 6 weeks. Again, why 6 weeks? So we can determine, we can look at it and say we've done a strategy for 6 weeks, see if that made any difference for our learners. And then we've got the cake mix. This is our RtI support. For this, the analogy metaphor is we're looking at a teacher of students with disabilities on the house, or the ELL teacher or allied arts teachers, how they can help out and serve all the students in the house in some way, shape, or form. So look at that as your overarching mix and what they can do to support RtI. This is going to be determined by the house, by the team. So these are the teachers that are assigned to the house. Then we get a good old frosting. You may have a situation where you want to have a group for TAG students or students that are talent enrichment pool. So that might be 5% of the students in your house, might be smaller. So this is the teacher assigned to the house as well. Again, this is Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday over a 6-week period. Some type of project-based learning, some type of other advanced or differentiated learning that can enrich that opportunity for students who are gifted and talented, talent enrichment pool, etc. Okay, if you don't like cake, this is how it boils down to. We're looking at 6 weeks. We've got our large groups, 75 to 80% of students. We've got our Math Core Plus group. We have our Reading Core Plus group. You've got your enrichment group. And this is important. All other teachers assigned to the house will provide support any way possible. The only teachers not involved in Core Plus and RtI are teachers with a first period prep. Again, the only teachers not involved in Core Plus RtI are teachers with a first period prep because that's their prep for the day. And then the main thing also, make this equitable and keep it simple. We don't want one person to feel like they've got to do all kinds of extra planning. There's Khan Academy. There's many other types of programs out there where you can go on. They're free programs. You can find them on the web. I don't want to mention them now because we're trying to keep this screencast short, but we certainly can talk about those. Make it equitable, keep it simple. Last but not least, belief sets. This is really important for Core Plus RtI to work correctly. We've got two sets of belief sets here. We've got limiting beliefs and empowering beliefs. First one, the limiting belief. Some people have a limiting belief that not all kids are learned. The empowering belief, the belief that we have to make sure that we have here at Franklin and in education, is all kids can learn. Underline the word all, capitalize the word all, and it's our job. That's our all. All means all. All means 100%. The second limiting belief is intelligence is a fixed trait that individuals are born with or without. That's a limiting belief. The empowering belief is that intelligence is a function of experience. And as a result, intelligence can be grown with extra time and support, with experience, with help over time. The more you do it, the better you become at it. You do a little research into something called the 10,000 hour rule. The more you do something, the better and smarter you get at it. All right, wrapping this up then, thank you for all your hard work with Core Plus and RtI. We're going to do this through January, take a step back, reassess, and then adjust for second semester, which is third quarter and fourth quarter. Thank you. Have a great day.